This is the plaintiff, Merlene Washington. She says the defendant, her upstairs neighbor, flooded her apartment and won't step up to do the right thing and right this wrong. The guy's fish tank leaked. All her belongings now smell fishy, and she's suing her irresponsible neighbor for the $2,448.60 she's owed. This is the defendant, Stafford Bannister. He says he's sorry, but about a fourth of the water in his fish tank leaked out and some of his neighbor's belongings got wet. He sent someone over to her place to steam clean the rug and couch and make them good as new, but the crazy lady just wants brand new stuff. He's accused of being a fishy sort.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says her upstairs neighbor has a fish tank that leaked and flooded her apartment. But the defendant says it was just a little water and he steam cleaned the plaintiff's couch. It's the case of holy mackerel.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Merlene Washington. You are
Your
suing
Honor.
your upstairs neighbor, Stafford Bannister,
Yes, ma'am.
for $2,448.60 in damages that you say you have sustained as a result of water that leaked into your apartment from his fish tank.
Yes,
Tell
Your
me
Honor.
what's going on.
On the 27th of February, I got home at about 9 o'clock, and I switched on my TV, and I hear these like popping sounds, and I'm wondering what could be like that. So I'm walking over to the TV, and I realized that my carpet was soaked.
Oh, goodness.
So I switched on the light, and I realized that the old ceiling was wet, my couch was wet, the carpet was wet, just about everything was wet. So I realized that the water was coming from upstairs. So I went up and I knocked on his door and I said to him, you have water coming down in my apartment. Come down and take a look. I went down, I was down there for a little while. He did not come.
What did he say when you knocked on his door and said that?
I think he said he's going to be down in a while.
He didn't say why you had water in your apartment?
No.
Okay.
So I went back down to my apartment and was looking around in shock because I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
He didn't say, let me go see if I left the water running somewhere? I mean,
No.
Okay.
So I was there for probably about 5 minutes. So I went back up to his apartment again and I knocked and I said, you need to come down and see my apartment because it's wet. I went back down, waited, he did not come. So I went back up again and I knocked on his door a third time and I said, you need to come down and see my apartment because my old apartment is wet. He said, I'm coming. I like, let me put some clothes on or whatever. Okay, I went back down. He finally came down and I said, what's wrong? What happened in your apartment? He said, his fish tank leaked. He came home he said 12 o'clock and he saw his fish tank leaking. I said, I left here at 1:30. If you came home and you saw your fish tank leaking, you could have come down, knocked on my door so I could move my things around so it wouldn't get wet. He said something like he was trying to save his fish. So I said, you're trying to save your fish and all my things are damaged. Anyway, he said, oh, you have nice things.
What did he say? Meaning, was he being sarcastic?
Maybe not. He just said, you have nice things. So I'm showing him, and he moved one of the couch one of the pillow off the couch and put it over to the other side. And I move it back on the couch because one side of the apartment is dry and one side is wet. So I want to keep all the wet things on one side. So he looked up at the ceiling, the shade that's around the bulb, it had water in it. So he looked up at it and...
Do you have pictures?
Yes.
Let me see the pictures. How long have you two been neighbors? Did you even know each other before this?
I've seen him a couple of times.
You've lived there how long?
About 40 years.
40 years?
Yeah.
And you've lived
2
there
years.
how many?
2 years.
2 years. All right. Wow. That's a pretty bad leak. What happened?
I have a fish tank, 90-gallon fish tank.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, it's a big fish tank.
What do you have in there? What kind of fish?
I have 3 fish in there. I have a shark in there.
Okay, because 90 gallons is a very big tank. Yeah, no, but you have some pretty big fish if you're only keeping 3 in there. So you have a shark. How big is a shark?
Sharks is about 7 inches long.
7 inches? And what else?
And 2 more fish.
What kind of fish play well with sharks?
I don't know what they are, to tell you the truth.
You don't know what they are?
I bought them about...
You got a 90-gallon tank. One would think you'd know.
Well, I don't know what these 2 fish are. They're the same fish. I bought the 2 of them together.
Okay. So what happened with the tank?
Well,
Is this a picture of his tank, the one that,
Yes,
that
Your
was
Honor.
thrown out, I guess?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what happened with this with your tank, sir?
well, I tried to find out where the leak was. I couldn't find it, so I put the pots and pans, towels, and everything down there. Then I realized that I had to get the fish out of there; they would die. So I had a big pot there. I got the fish out. I put the fish in there, and then I took the pump and I pumped the rest of the water out of there into the sink. And I went downstairs. I knocked on her door. No one was there. No one came to the door. That night, what happened? I got the fish tank out. I threw the fish tank out.
Did you leave a note on her door or anything? Not that it would have made a difference because she wasn't home, but
Yeah. But she came up and she knocked on my door. I was in my shorts, underclothes, and I was still messing with the tank, still trying to get the tank straightened out.
8 hours later?
Yeah. Well, I threw the old tank out. I had to go buy a new tank.
Right.
Which
What'd you do with the fish?
Well, they were still.
Sat the shark and the two sandfish and said, wait right here.
They were still in the big plastic. I had a big plastic tub.
Okay.
So they were in there. So I bought a new tank.
But you got to hurry because they don't survive long. And
I know this. That's why I
know.
tried. So then I ran to the fish tank and to the fish department. I bought a new tank. I bought another 90-gallon tank. I put it in there, put the water in there, put the fish back in there, and then.
So she knocks on your door and she says,
Yeah,
my apartment is full of water. You need to come down.
She came upstairs. I was in my shorts. In my underclothes.
Well, I understand, but how long does it take a man to put a pair of pants on?
Yeah. Well,
she's agitated. She wants you down there now, and she has to come up 3 times to get you.
I know. She.
And I know she didn't wait long in between each time.
No, she sure didn't. So she came back again.
But seriously, does it take you 15 minutes to put on a pair? Don't you put them on the same way that everybody else does, one leg at a time?
Of course I do.
Okay, it doesn't take that long.
But listen.
So, is putting a 7-inch shark in a 90-gallon fish tank cruel or cool?
It's cool because a shark's an animal, and animals are pets.
Okay. I'm not sure what to do with that. What do you think?
I think if you're impeding its growth, then yeah, it's a little cruel.
What do you think, ma'am? You're going to be the tiebreaker.
I think that if you're putting it in a tank and that's not its natural habitat and it's used to being more in a big, huge, wide open ocean, I don't think it's very cool.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Listen, I was in my shorts. I was still messing with the tanks. I had to get.
Oh, come on! It's already 9 o'clock. At this point, you've got to stop messing with the tank and pay some attention to the real damage downstairs.
It wasn't 9 o'clock when she came up the first time. It wasn't 9 o'clock. Anyway, whatever time it was, it wasn't 9 o'clock.
The third time?
No. Okay. She came.
Eventually, you go down. Eventually, you figure out how to put your pants on, and you go down. I know she's agitated. And she's upset.
Yeah, right.
Very quick. All right. So now,
I go down,
whatever time it is, you go downstairs.
I go downstairs. Now I look. Okay, I see the water to the ceiling, so I know it's. So then I look at a couch. I see a couch messed up. The ceiling was drenched.
The ceiling was drenched.
So I knew that it was my fault.
Right. Did you end up having to buy a new sofa?
Yes, I did.
Do you brought me a receipt for the new sofa?
Yes, Your Honor.
Correct? All right. This is quite disruptive. Of course, it's an accident. You didn't do it on purpose. You didn't do something. It's not like you left the water running because you're a slack jaw. It was an accident. I understand. Okay, but there's damages. And what I have to assess, there's no question that she's going to win the lawsuit, but there's 2 parts to every lawsuit. One is, Judge, he did me wrong. No problem. It's something that went wrong in his place. Put your hand down, I'm talking. It's something that went wrong in his place, and it ended up damaging your place. So yes, he's going to have to pay for what went wrong in his place. Now, the second question is, how much? When you come to court, what you're entitled to is a depreciated value of the item that you're suing for. It's not your replacement value. All right. So you have assessed certain values to things, and those are not the values that I'm going to give you. You understand? And what did you want to say?
Yes, Your Honor. This is not his first time damaging that apartment with water. This is his second time.
Really?
Yes.
How?
The first time I don't know. He told me and the landlord told me that this is his second time water coming down in that apartment.
Was there a prior problem?
Yes, Your Honor. This is about 20 years ago, before she was
That's
even
what you get
dead.
for living somewhere 40 years.
Right. Yeah, right. This is about 20 years ago. I had a washing machine. And it ran over. So the guy said, the landlord said, get rid of it. So I got rid of it. That was before she even moved into the place.
That's all right. That's all right. 40 years, a lot of stuff's going to happen.
That's right.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right. I think that you are entitled to compensation. You're entitled to the depreciated value of the items. You're entitled to something for your troubles that, you ended up having to do all this cleaning that you wouldn't have otherwise done. I agree with you. And that leaves me with the following. A judgment in favor of the plaintiff, not in the amount that you're asking for, but in this amount, $1,132, verdict for the plaintiff. Good luck.
Well, he's not in his shorts now, but right over here. But she did beat the pants off you in court. What's your
Yeah, I know she did, yeah.
So kind of risky to have fish tanks in the apartments, isn't it? A little bit risky? That nightmare of that leak and all that water?
Well, it's like having over a sink. It's and a thing over a bedroom. You know what I mean? Say I want to go to bed earlier. I want to make noise.
Okay.
You know? So,
all right, this way. The man with the sharks. There he goes. The man with the sharks right there. All right, so come on in here. You didn't get everything you sued for. You satisfied with this outcome?
Disappointed. I'm very disappointed because he has a 90-gallon fish tank. That's a lot of water. Mm-hmm. And I think there should be a rule where you cannot have a fish tank that big in your apartment, because if it leaks, you could do a lot of damage to other people's stuff.
It is risky. Are you worried about your upstairs neighbor now, or you guys get along?
I'm moving.
Oh,
because he has another fish tank. It's going to happen again.
All right, you're going to move?
Yeah, I'm going to find, because I don't want a 90-gallon fish tank above me.
All right, Harvey.
And then,
just so you know, when a judge awards the depreciated value of an item, this is not an exact science. It's called rough justice. The judge basically does the best she can. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.